There's something so beautiful about stories where best friends realize they've been in love all along. For me, these kinds of movies always feel the most real because love that grows from friendship is the strongest kind. Today, I'm sharing the top 10 movies that made me laugh, cry, and believe in best friends two lovers stories all over again. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe because I share lists like this all the time and I'd love to have you with me on this journey. So grab a blanket, maybe some tissues, and let's dive into the romances that stole my heart. 10. Friends with Benefits. Produced in 2011, this movie hooked me because it asked a question so many people have thought about. Can two friends really keep things casual? For me, Dylan and Jamie's friendship felt natural, funny, and honest from the start. I loved their banter and how comfortable they were with each other. What made it interesting was how emotions slowly crept in, no matter how much they tried to avoid it. I felt like the story showed that love isn't always planned, it sneaks up on you. Their chemistry made every scene spark with energy. By the time friendship turned to love, it felt completely right. In my opinion, this movie proves that sometimes the best relationships start with laughter and friendship. 9. The Wedding Singer. Produced in 1998, this movie warmed my heart from start to finish. For me, Robbie and Julia's friendship was filled with kindness and laughter that slowly blossomed into love. I loved how music and humor played such a big role in their story. It made everything more charming. Watching Robbie support Julia in ways no one else did made me fall for their connection. I felt like their romance was inevitable, but it was still exciting to watch unfold. The 80s vibe just added to the fun and sweetness. By the end, I was smiling from ear to ear. In my opinion, this film is proof that sometimes the best love stories are also the simplest. 8. Brown Sugar. Produced in 2002, this film touched me because it was about more than just love. It was about passion and connection. For me, Sydney and Dre's bond over hip-hop made their friendship feel unique and soulful. I loved how their relationship felt grounded, like they really grew up together and carried those memories into adulthood. Watching them dance around their feelings made me root for them harder with every scene. I felt their chemistry was undeniable, even when they were with other people. The story had a perfect balance of romance and real-life struggles. When they finally admitted their love, it felt so natural, like it was meant to be all along. In my opinion, this is one of the most underrated best friends two lovers stories ever made. 7. One Day. Produced in 2011, this movie stayed with me long after I finished it. For me, Emma and Dexter's friendship felt so real because it was full of highs, lows, and years of complicated emotions. I loved how the movie showed just one day of their lives each year. It was such a creative way to tell their story. Watching them dance around their feelings for so long made me ache for them. I felt the longing in every reunion, every near miss, and every goodbye. When love finally came, it was powerful and heartbreaking at the same time. It reminded me that friendship-based love is both the strongest and the most fragile. In my opinion, this film is unforgettable because it shows that love and friendship can be the most beautiful, but also the most painful mix. 6. My Best Friend's Wedding. Produced in 1997, this movie broke my heart in a way I didn't expect. For me, Julian's late realization that she loved her best friend was painful and relatable. I loved how the movie mixed humor with raw emotion, but kept me invested the whole time. I felt every ounce of her desperation and regret as she tried to stop his wedding. What really stood out was how honest the story was. Love doesn't always end in happily ever afters. It made me think about timing and how important it is to recognize love before it's too late. The characters' chemistry made everything believable and emotional. In my opinion, it's one of the bravest love stories because it shows that sometimes love means letting go. 5. Just Friends. Produced in 2005. This one made me laugh and melt at the same time. For me, Chris and Jamie's dynamic was so relatable. the pain of being just friends with someone you secretly love. I loved how the comedy mixed with moments of real tenderness between them. Watching Chris grow and try to win her over was both funny and heartwarming. I felt like the movie showed that even after years apart, true connections don't fade. What stood out most to me was how their friendship was still the heart of everything. The ending made me feel like love sometimes just needs the right moment to shine. In my opinion, it's a fun and heartfelt story that proves the friend zone isn't always permanent. 4. Maid of Honor, produced in 2008. This movie had me hooked because it's about realizing too late that your best friend might be the one. I felt every ounce of Tom's frustration as he tried to hide his feelings while watching Hannah marry someone else. For me, the tension between friendship and romance made this story exciting and heartbreaking at the same time. I loved how their bond was so natural, filled with jokes and loyalty that made their connection believable. It made me wonder how many people have missed their chance because they were scared to admit their feelings. I found myself on edge, waiting to see if Tom would finally confess. When the romance finally surfaced, it felt like such a sweet victory. In my opinion, this film is a perfect reminder that sometimes love is hidden in plain sight. 3. 13 Going on 30, produced in 2004. This one really made me think about how childhood friendships can shape the rest of our lives. For me, Jenna and Maddie's bond was so innocent and sweet, and watching it grow into something more was beautiful. The magical time jump twist just made the story even more fun and emotional. I loved how Jenna had to rediscover what truly mattered, and that it was Maddie all along. The moments between them were so heartfelt that I couldn't stop smiling. I felt nostalgic watching it because it reminded me how important true friends are. The ending left me warm and happy, almost like I was watching a fairy tale. In my opinion, it's the kind of story that proves friendship is the strongest foundation for lasting love. 2. When Harry Met Sally, produced in 1989. This movie feels timeless because it asks the question we've all wondered: can best friends really just stay friends? For me, Harry and Sally's banter, honesty, and late-night talks made me believe in their connection from the start. I loved how their friendship grew naturally, with years of laughter, fights, and comfort in between. Watching them slowly realize their feelings made me smile and ache at the same time. I think what makes this movie so powerful is how real it feels. You can actually imagine knowing people like them. Their chemistry pulled me in and didn't let go. By the end, when they finally admit their love, I felt like it was the only possible ending. To me, it's proof that sometimes the person who understands you best is the one you're meant to love. 1. Love, Rosie, produced in 2014. This movie touched me deeply because it shows how love can be right in front of you, but timing keeps getting in the way. I felt so connected to Rosie and Alex because their friendship was so real, messy, funny, and supportive. What frustrated me in a good way was how they kept missing their chance to be together. For me, it was a reminder that life doesn't always move the way our hearts want it to. I found myself rooting for them at every turn, even when all hope seemed lost. Their friendship made the love story even stronger because it was built on years of trust. Watching it made me emotional, hopeful, and a little heartbroken. In my opinion, this is one of the most beautiful movies about best friends realizing they were soulmates all along. These movies remind me that the best love stories aren't always about passion at first sight. They are about years of laughter, trust, and quiet moments that turn into something deeper. Watching these friendships turn into love made me believe that sometimes the person we're meant to be with has been beside us the whole time. Every story on this list carried its own mix of joy and heartbreak, and I couldn't look away. I'd love to know which of these films touched you the most, or if you have your own favorites where friends became lovers. Until next time, keep believing in love stories that start with friendship, because those are the ones that last forever.